On the telephone line, I've got our Otaki National MP, Nathan Guy. Good morning, Nathan.
Morning, Nigel. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Haven't talked to you since you sort of handed over the reins and I just want to find out a wee bit about your new agricultural spokesman, Todd Muller. Where does he actually come from? He's got a farming background, obviously, I should imagine.
He's the MP for Bay of Plenty. He comes from a very high-ranking position in Fonterra, and prior to that in Vestbury. So he's very strong in sort of agriculture business, and he's been running the climate change portfolio for us, and he's relinquished that now and come across. He's doing agriculture, biosecurity and food safety, and corralling quite a big team of MPs that have responsibility in that area as well.
Right. So he admirably fills your shoes because you're well respected by the farmers out there. The amount of work that you've done over the many years, helping them through the difficult times. And I should imagine Mr. Muller's going to have a difficult time convincing the farmers to carry on milking because Fonterra predicts a loss of $590 to $675 million loss this year.
Yes, that's going to be a challenge. Well, Todd Muller knows a lot about Fonterra, obviously coming from his background, and Fonterra at the moment are trimming sales, reducing debt. They've set a target of selling down assets about $800 million. I think they're reducing a few staff as well. I'm hearing that they may indeed return about $1 billion of savings, which will be a good thing, and they're focusing on their core aspects of what they do, which is really producing commodities but trying to grow value as well and through the process. So it really is a bit of a reset for Fonterra, and no one wants them to go down the same path of that this sort of Westland end up in just a month or two ago.
Yes. Do you think, in hindsight, Fonterra tried to get too big too soon, too quickly, or was that not a reasonable assumption?
Well, Fonterra's had to put a lot of stones up because they've had quite a massive growth of milk, and that has been continuing to grow as farmers pick up new animal genetics and plant genetics and just get more efficient on farm. So they've had a wall of milk coming at them. They've also had to try and, I guess, have a real focus on export markets. They export to about 120 countries around the world. And you've got to remember also, you've got this massive peak of milk. So the New Zealand dairy system is built around the spring growth curve, and that's coming at us sort of shortly, although people's lawns haven't really taken off yet. But in another month or so, with the daylight and the warmth and the moisture, that'll take off. So calving's underway now, and Fonterra have to deal with a massive peak of milk. So they need the stainless capacity, they need to move it through the markets, and that's where in the past they've been in commodities, but also trying to do more and more adding value. And I think by and large done a very good job. But maybe a few strategic decisions they made in recent times weren't the best ones, so now they're doing a bit of a reset.
Yes, yeah. So do you think this big milk production is going to be too great for New Zealand? I mean, if we don't get the markets, China's cutting down, isn't it, on the markets over there on milk? Are there other markets opening up for us?
Well, of course, we're trying to battle away and get a free trade agreement with the EU and the UK, and that all hinges on basically Brexit. And Boris Johnson's got a big job ahead of him there. But we're sitting in the wings there ready to do a deal. We've got opportunities in other Asian countries, other Latin American countries as well. So it's a real focus of the previous government, less so on this one, but I think the other thing is continually governments need to work on tariffs, because when you have more protectionism occurring, you just look at what's happening with the US and China, we get caught up in a bit of the crossfire, and there tends to be more and more tariffs placed on products, which ultimately impacts on the bottom line and inside the farm gate as well.
Right. Now, I know you're busy on a select committee at the moment. What's that on, Nathan?
Yes, I've come off the primary production select committee and I've moved on to the environment one, and that's all about the zero carbon bill. Thousands of submissions. We've got to hear over 1,000 in person. We've started that process in Wellington. Later this week we're moving around the country hearing them. There's so many submissions, the select committee's having to break into two. we're a bit perturbed about that because we think the process should be slowed down a bit so the whole committee can get around the country. But the government want to get this bill back into the House and have it all passed and locked away by the end of the year. I'm not sure that that'll happen, but that's their aspiration.
So this climate change is a bit of a concern to, of course, the farmers, no doubt, but this is for the whole of New Zealand. And I see last night an Australian scientist, they've come up with making meat out of genes put into some sort of system over there. So can you see us actually cutting down on the amount of meat we're producing here from actual live cattle to going into lab science?
Well, it's interesting. There are some moves afoot. The veganism movement is growing and plant-based proteins have taken off. There's always been these sort of threats in the past. I think it's an opportunity for our primary producers to actually add more value and talk more about our provenance story, animals outdoors, grass-fed, hormone-free, all of those things. Part of the, the saleability of our products that we can take for market. We can feed, Nigel, about 40 million people. The world population will go over to 9 billion by about 2050. So the opportunity for us is to try and add value and I guess get our products in front of the most discerning customers around the world.
Right. All right, Nathan, I'll let you fly because you've got a lot of reading to do. But for your replacement in the Otaki electorate, how does that be, or how does that go? I mean, how do we handle that?
Yeah, good question. So obviously, my announcement 10 days ago, sent shockwaves through the community. But it was a personal decision for me. The timing's right. 15 years. I'll be 50 next year. I just want to get out and go and do a few different things, and I don't know exactly what they might be at the moment. Obviously, there's a farm up the road, and I'm really excited about the opportunities there, but I can't ever see myself doing 24/7 farming, so I'll have other opportunities, I think, down the track. In terms of the selection process, well, we're right now looking for candidates to stand in Otaki. That process will take off in the next couple of months. There'll be a selection because, in my view, there will be a contest. There's a hell of a lot of people that are interested in the Otaki seat. Once it was a red seat, now it's a pretty good blue seat, and we want to hold it and we want to make sure we get the right candidate. So the National Party right now are talking to a lot of people and there's a hell of a lot of interest, and I think we'll get a great candidate who will be, in my view, I'm hoping will be a fantastic MP for Otaki who's going to look after the people with Kapiti and Horowhenua in the future.
So when might that be announced, Nathan?
Well, there's a process that the party has to go through, working with head office and timing. My intention and hope is that we have a candidate up and running by the end of the year. So, we've got a few months to go.
Yeah. Thanks very much for your time, Nathan. We'll speak in a couple of weeks' time if we can, please.
Look forward to it.
Right.
Thanks, Nigel. Have a great
Nathan Guy, Otaki MP.
Beach FM, locals talking to locals.